Corey Thorne, the spiritual healer, coming in to do my daily energy reading for Saturday. This is the 22nd of May, 2021. So just coming in to do a quick morning live. It is a long weekend, so taking some time, not for a weekend off, but to work through the energy. I'm just waiting people join in, just waiting here for people to get in. I always speak for those who are watching the recording later, so you're not sitting in an awkward pause. But I'm just letting people get into the group here before I start reading through the energy. Just bringing the video up. Good morning, Catherine. Good morning, Lisa and Tanya. Good morning, Heather. Just getting some people here. Good morning, Susan and Tara, Alicia, Sharon, good morning, Joanne, Brenda, Mary. Wow, look, all the people joining in. Shelley, Crystal, good morning, Rhonda. Lisa, good morning. And Shelley, I think I said Mary. Carlene, good morning. Anyone? Deborah, good morning. So, I was just getting ready to come in. So, of course, if you've been following my morning lives that I've been doing, some of them have been coming out in afternoons, but you've been hearing me talk like a lot that I'm reading the energy. So I'm doing like energy forecast type of readings for what the energy is of each and every day, of what we're sitting in, probably explains a little bit of what you're feeling that day, or sometimes we can't explain how we just jump through moods. We just like all of a sudden we're doing well and then all of a sudden we're not, like something just like feels like you're riding like waves. So we do have some waves of energy. Good morning, Linda and Judy. So we do have some waves of energies here, and we are riding some waves. I woke up this morning about 5:15. I woke up, it was about 5:15 this morning that I woke up, and I felt like it was like the sun was shining, the sky was blue. It still is. It's still beautiful here in Alberta, but it was like really, really good. I hope to hear the whole thing today. I have about 25 minutes. Okay, let me see if I can get this out in 25 minutes for you. Okay, so it's like we're riding this wave. And so I woke up about 5:15 this morning. Sun was shining, felt really good, felt like it was like life felt like I felt full of life. And then all of a sudden I went into meditation. I did a lot of channeling, a lot of journaling about faith and about my vision and about being able to finally feel like I am getting back like a new understanding of where I have lost a lot of my confidence. And yes, we all lose not that I'm not confident in my work and what I do, but we lose a lot of confidence sometimes when we are going through so many transitions within our lives or within the world in general. And so instead of being angry, I have been riding the wave of that and just letting that happen. So I was writing about all of that. And then all of a sudden, I started to go into a meditation. And before I did, I decided to get up and get my postcards from heaven postcard from spirit deck. And I pulled a card. And right before I pulled the card, I just heard something is wrong. Something is wrong. Something is shifting. And I can't let go of this sensation, this feeling, this sense that in that quick second, everything shifted and changed. And it felt like it was like this big burst of energy. And then all of a sudden it feels like something is not right. Something is wrong. And it doesn't mean something is wrong, like something big, horrific could happen, but it just felt like there was a big shift. And that's how fast our energy can change. Now, I always have to decipher whether or not that's mine or it belongs to somebody else or where that belongs. It feels like there is something actually wrong. It feels like something is about to go down, like something is about to go sideways. And I don't know what it is. You can't control it. You can't own it. So you have to let it go. But I do feel like there's something going down. I don't know what's going down today, but something feels like it's going down in the next few days. And I always say it's like things are not always as they seem. And I think that's something very important to remember. Today, it's like things are not always as they seem. So there's that whole sense of like something being out of alignment to what looks like it should be all perfect and all good is not all perfect and all good. Like something just feels like it's in that kind of energy. Um, I love you too, Lisa Star Francis. And so I just have that sense today, like something is not there. But I feel very put together today. It's weird. Um, yeah, but it just came over me. I even sent my daughter a message that whatever you do today, just be careful, okay? Today, like it just feels like a day that if you feel like just like letting all go and just saying F it to everything and you just want to set yourself fully free. I'm like, just play it a little bit safe today. Today feels like it's like as much as you want to just let everything go. A raven just flew across my window. It's like if you just want to let everything, what the hell? Sorry, opening my blind. If you want to just let everything, it's like you're being told to just like do a second look. Whatever you're doing, take a second, let the second take a second breath, get a breather, or whatever it may be to kind of just sit in that. Um, and to trust that, to just trust that if you feel like, you know what, I should wait another hour, or you know what, I'll have that second cup of coffee before I go do something. I feel like that's kind of the energy that we have today. Wait it out. Just give yourself time to sit with your own thoughts today before you even speak, like before you get your words out. And so if I had to speak when I first start getting this thought this morning, I might have had a whole different story. But it's like I usually process this through. There's more than meets the eye. Yes, there is, Lisa. And I feel like we are about to experience getting to know something that is beyond the truth that you would have known all along. So something feels like it's very big. It's very like there's more happening than what it looks. So what looks so pretty, what looks so well put together, what looks like so hurrah, hurrah, it's not. It is not. It could be, Susan. Yes, the me and ravens are often around me a lot. Um, exactly. Exactly, Lindsay. That is something to practice every day. It's like that sense of our impulsiveness, our in like we've been so triggered by our sense of like not being able to trust our own instincts. It's like we're in this fight or flight or freeze, like this trauma response most of our lives now. Like it just feels like the whole world's been reactive to that. And it's like you got to think and do things like right now. Everything's right now. And it's even if they're coaching, like a lot of coaching programs, a lot of things that are out there now is like, right now, you need this right now, or you can meet all of your potential. You can be anything in the world that you want to be right now. You can do it right now. Even if you're answering your freaking emails, you look in your emails and how many emails are coming through in this like state of like urgency, urgent right now. You're going to miss this opportunity. You're going to miss this. You're going to miss that. And it's pushing people to go, and that's causing like this like response in our bodies, like this trigger within our bodies. And I'm like, no, you don't. You can give yourself a breather. And if that opportunity goes by, trust me, there will be another opportunity. I've missed many opportunities and many opportunities show up again. It's like what is in alignment to who you are and to your truth and to what feels right to you will come if you let yourself sit back and breathe things through. Take the time to breathe and just trust. Just start practicing more patience with your own ability to not be so responsive so quickly. And but like I said, just something just doesn't feel totally right out there. It feels like we just lost like it's like we lost air out of the balloon. That's what it feels like. It's like we just lost air. And it's like, don't panic that we lost the air. It's just like you're just going to have to conserve a little bit that air. You're just going to have to sit back, take a deeper breath before you step in. Don't feel the need to jump all the way into something today. Slow down. It is a long weekend, so you can, you don't even have to answer your freaking emails this weekend. Just don't feel like, I just feel like it's like, feel, feel what your own, listen to your own body. What is your body telling you today? What is your body, not what your head is telling you. What is your body telling you today? And listen to that. Oh, you walked the beach today? Oh, you could feel him. Yes, they're everywhere today. So it does feel like to me, I don't know why. It feels like it doesn't. I always say I don't know why when I'm asking them. If you're wondering what I'm doing when I say that, I'm always asking my guides for more information when I say I don't know why. That's my code to guide to give me more information. But it feels like the veil feels very thin. I know we're getting ready to come into that full moon energy. We have a big shift. There was a fire yesterday in my hometown in Buckens, Newfoundland. I think it's still burning, and it was really close to town yesterday. There's a lot of things. There's a lot of action. There's a lot of movement. But the energy itself, the light of the energy, and I feel like it's like we're at this pivotal time where we have the opportunity to start taking back our own energy or taking back something of our own. But it's like you don't want to be too impulsive to jump all the way in there because there's still a lot of that imposter light energy is what I'm picking up. But to be very aware, to be very careful, like not fearful, careful, but just aware of your own energy. Listen to your own body. Start that. It's like that started that process of a healing within us that's on a deeper level that is naturally taking place. But I just feel like I feel like I've been waiting for this. And my uncle, I have an uncle who passed away a few years ago, and he used to have the stinkiest feet in the world. And he's my dad's only brother. And stinkiest feet. And every time he comes to me, I always smell his stinky feet. And I'm like, Uncle Jerry, I know you're here. And they'll always give you something that you'll remember them by. And for 2 days, he has been with me. So I don't know what's going down, but yes, full moon energy, your boy. Yes, Susan, right? It's I walked my little pond the other day, and I was just saying to your little man that I'm moving. I'm going to a lake, but right across the street from me, Susan, my neighbor, when I came home from my walk, um, my neighbor has put a pirate flag up on the corner of their house. They've got two kids, a little girl named Freya and one named Molly. And they got a pirate flag put up on their house. And the first thing I thought was, well, buddy, you're flying pretty high today. And you're right there. And so the flag is on the corner, and it's this pirate flag on the corner. And it's like always there. And so our ships are sailing. So we have a lot of ships that are sailing. We have a lot of it's just rising in ascension. So the veil being thin and the full moon, what I'm picking up from that is that a lot of our loved ones are ascending. They're ascending, the ones that are on the other side. They're ascending to a new level, just like we are as a human race. Like we're evolving, we're ascending, but we're here to be human. We really are. We're here to embrace the human experience. Our loved ones are ascending so that they can be of service to us, so they can help us through this new stage, through this new growth, through the changes, because we can't ever go back to where things were or how things were, but they're coming to help us heal on a deeper level. And so by them ascending, their vibrations rising, like they're rising, and they're going to this whole new level. Well, and as are we, like us as a human race are. And so I feel like there's like this big shift that is happening, this big growth that's happening within us. And for us to be able to honor that. And so I honor that in my meditations, in my prayers. And this morning I was in with the council, I call it, when I'm in deep channeling, and I go into the council. And it's through my ability to communicate and to be able to channel Jesus is where some of this comes through for me. And so as I was channeling the man who walked the earth, this is not based into religion, but the man who walked the earth was a man who was a spiritual teacher who taught about transformation. And so this is a transformation that is happening. So as Jesus was channeling through me this morning, Jesus was telling me about, we're not the first generations of transformational coaches. Like it was back 2000 years ago. It was that choice to walk the way. And we're being told that there's a lot of areas in our own lives and how we view life and how we view people and things that we have to start we're starting a new transformational journey through, even with our connection to spirit and our connections to our loved ones. But we're also here to really embrace that that human experience, that we are to embody those that we have close to us, that we love dearly, not to take for granted or to, just assume we have another day or we have more time with the people that we have right here. And we're here to embody that on a deeper level. Like, don't assume these things, because world, it's fragile, fragile, fragility, fragile, fragile. I'm being told it's very fragile. Like, we don't realize how fragile life really is. We do when we go through changes, but then when we're in our own hurt stories and our own misery, we forget that we have like this bond, this connection as earthly beings with other earthly sense of self that is very important. And so, yes, and so the moon, right? And so this blood moon is a lot of, there's a lot of deep-seated cellular, generational on top of generation on top of generational healing that is also taking place. And I just finished saying that to my mom yesterday. I'm like, I feel like it was like I've just come through. I've been on the big dark night of soul journey for several years, and I recently just come out of that thing and like owning that now. And so I was telling her about this big generational healing and my journey through, and about the ancestral healing that has been taking place in my own life. And so you have to know that your journey, and your journey to why our loved ones are so present with us today, right now, today, is I feel like they are walking beside us today because they are ascending. They have so much information for us, so much. They're just, they're there to tell us, like, there's such an opportunity for us right now as in the human race. It's such an opportunity for us to take our energy back, to live in our stories, to live in our truths, but to find that sense of that light. So what Jesus was telling me this morning was, as that transformational journey, and through the transformational journey, was to be able to come to a new understanding of what it means to embody the vision, the light, the love and the light that exists within this world. And that even though we feel like even though we know we have our own hurts and we have our own stories, is that we have a lot of embodied love and light that is still surrounding us, encompassing us. And we are to be able to live within that, and not to take those things for granted right now, to really honor that, because the world is fragile. It's like, but as I said Thursday when I was in, I'm like, we put a lot of focus into, we got to build these big machines, you got to build this big solar stuff, you got to do all this stuff. But Mother Earth has been caring for us since we ever arrived. And she always will. She's like the divine mother. It's like my grandmother used to always say, if you have one little tiny chicken and 5 potatoes and 20 people show up, you can feed 20 people. You can limit yourself if you believe you can't. So you can limit yourself by saying, oh, I only got enough to feed this. But we can make things go farther than what we think we can. We got to get out of our heads. We got to get out of those fear stories. And we got to get back to dealing with the number one thing that's in our world, and that's poverty. But it's poverty in a lot of ways, because we're living in a lot of lack of, and a lot of fear stories, and a lot of that energy that is like taking charge of a lot of things that it shouldn't be right now. And so the transformational coach that works through me, that Jesus energy that comes in that whole sense of self, is like, if you want to feel empowered, if you want to be empowered, you have to embody love and light. And if you can't embody love and light, you're never able to raise your vibration or to be able to feel enough. And it's not about becoming, and I'm going to say this out loud and proud, and and I am not for anything of this so-called wokeness that is here, that is like in this judgmental, that is like boxing things, that's become like this imposter light of energy, which I'm going to call bullshit, because I'm going to tell you that I know that not to be truth. We are pioneers to this work, and we didn't wake up yesterday and go, oh, now this one's not good enough and that one's not good enough. It has to be about humanity, and it has to be about humanity as a whole. And so what I'm feeling, and what I've been feeling all morning, is that sense of like, what is wrong? Like, what is going on? What is really wrong in the world? And it's like, there's just like a face. It's like putting Like, was it mom? You say you put lipstick on a pig, it's still a pig, right? Like it's like you put lipstick on a pig and it's still a pig. That same kind of energy. You can make some. You can try to make something appear as something that it is to align to you, to suit you, or you can be honest. And I feel like there's just a sense of honesty. So instead of causing people in an email, instead of saying it's urgent that you do this right now, how about you just say, you know what, I need work. I need work and I need people to get into my programs. I need, it's like, so if you're available and this works for you, I would love to have you. But it's like, and so be honest. So that's where we're coming from. It's like we need to return to a sense of honesty, not urgency. Honesty, not urgency. And it's not so urgent. We need to be honest about what our real needs are, what our real truth is. What are you afraid of? And so if you take one addiction, I always say spirituality is not about taking one addiction and jumping from one to the other. It's about moving beyond all of our isms to not be, it's like it's not spirituality is not an obsession. It is not a cult. It's about living true to you. And that means being grounded and rooted and being as human as you possibly can and learning about what it means to love yourself and still love humanity, about being less judgmental, less critical, like less trauma responsive. You're always going to have those triggers. You're always going to be triggered by life, but it doesn't mean the world has to change so that you can live in it. It means that you become the change that you want to see within you so that you can find contentment and peace. And so that means, first of all, become honest with you. Become honest with you, and it changes everything. Everything. You love my freckles? My son Freckles? Heather, I had a message from my husband shortly after he passed. He said he was able to help the boys and I better than. Yeah, he would ever have been able to before. Exactly. That's such a truth. There's such a power to that truth. Like they really do. They can help in such a way. Did you get that on your tattoo, Lindsay? I never know this stuff until I channel it, Lindsay. So until I channel it, I never know it. I just found out that my high school sweetheart passed away. He'd been with me. Oh, wow, Megan. And you just found out? Crazy. Lisa, we are all connected. Time to focus on allowing the healing energy flow freely, right? And pinching off and receiving, giving. Yes, exactly. That's so cool, Lindsay. I love that. And so, yes, so we do have a lot of Joanne. I remember one time mom said that something doesn't feel right. She called her twin, and her twin and her husband had been in an accident. Always trust your feelings. Yes, Joanne, I remember that accident. I remember that accident very clearly. And it's like just something feels off, and it wasn't earlier. It wasn't in the energy at 5:15 this morning. It wasn't in the energy. Beverly Bright, my mom died a week ago. We buried her yesterday, unexpected. Oh wow, so sorry for your loss. Yeah, it's like there's just so much, and I just said this, Beverly, yesterday. I said, I feel like there's a lot of, I'm going to say this in the most beautiful way. I feel like there's a lot of people that are leaving right now that it's like it's a lot of unexpected deaths. And it's almost like they're going to this new place to be able to be of service to us. But what's to come after this pandemic? What's to come after this is going to be harder to deal with than what's happening during this pandemic. And I'm going to say that in a way of faith, that what is coming after this pandemic was just the sideshow kind of thing. What's coming now is deeper and bigger and more impactful, and it's going to take a lot of faith for after this pandemic. And then we return, and then we come full circle. But it is like that last quarter of the pie that I speak about in my 360, that I speak about, always say that last little quarter is the hardest to get into a new change. Well, that's where we're heading. It's like we're heading into that last little piece. And it is the part that's going to be the hardest. It's going to seem like it's the longest, and it's going to take us it's going to feel like it's going to be the hardest one to get through. And when we do, then we come full circle, and then we can finally, but what we do, this is our lowest moment, and it's going to be our most defining moment. What we do in that last quarter of the home run stretch defines what happens next in our lives. Are we done putting band-aids on the things that we need to heal? And it's like, are you done putting band-aids? You can't put band-aids on things. You got to allow yourself to come through your full healing. Being angry at the world, being hating of the world, being angry at everybody is not helping you at all. It is not serving our highest good. To be able to free yourself of those things, to be able to love thy faith, love thy family and thy neighbor, love those people that are dear to you, that are near to you, the people that matter in our lives. Because I hate to tell you, but the government don't give a rat's ass about you. They don't give a shit about you. And that's a truth. And I'm going to say that loud and proud, because they don't even know who you are. You're a number in a system. And when they want to, it's like, who matters to you is your neighbors remember you. And so it's those people and your family. That person sitting next to you on the couch, they should matter to you today. That should be where your focus and your love and light should be today, because this is fragile time. And as Beverly just said, no idea. Like, you didn't know, it was unexpected. And so you don't know. And so we've been led into this story of fear for how many years now? All of a sudden they said, oh, you could possibly die. Well, there's not one day of your life that is a guaranteed. There's not one moment of your life that is guaranteed, ever. Ever. You have this very moment right here and nothing else. Nothing else after the moment that you're in is a guarantee. There is no future. There's nothing out there that has been hardwired into us yet. We believe it to be there because we hold on to faith that we're going to have a future. But it's not there yet, right? And so you have those thoughts. But it's amazing how we can hold on to the past that also didn't exist. But or we can fall into that fear story that we could die. Well, that wasn't new to us. That was old freaking news. That's news since the day you ever arrived here, that your human body could possibly leave. Right? Thanks for being here, Lisa. And so, yeah, so it's like we're going to be going through those experiences. So embody this moment that you have. Embody loving the people that you love, care for them, spend time with them, laugh, enjoy those. Be able to be present in that today, because we don't know what's next. We don't know what's coming. And I don't know what the rest of the day gives. And I don't know what the rest of my day gives. And that message, that feeling may be for me. I don't know. That may be one of my loved ones. I don't know. But it may be. But what I know is that in this moment, in this day, I have an opportunity to be embodied in love and light. And that if I were to have to go through anything, I have a beautiful support system. And that we're all going to have to be there. Going to be okay, Angie. Going to be okay. Yes, Susan, right? It's like, yeah, you know the story, right? You know this journey. So yeah. Okay. See? Time. This is that last quarter. Telling you guys. No, Angie, faith. All is well. All is well. And 11 is a magical number. So timeless treasure. It is this last quarter. I'm telling you, this last quarter of kind of and we are in this. And so this is Una, and she is number 35 of the cards. Just bringing her up. She is timeless treasure. She's Una. It's hard to see the bottom. The banner's going across. I don't know how. All of a sudden, my banner started to work again. It wasn't working, and then all of a sudden, it comes on again. ONA, Una. And see all these little spirals and stuff? These are like portal doors. And times, like we get in these portals of these doors. Oh, Beverly, I'm so sorry. Yes, you need to get like you need to give yourself through what your healing journey, what you're going through. Like it's like every day, every moment of every day, you have to honor that whatever grief you need to experience, what you need to feel, go through. Um, it's your first. Wow. I'm sending you lots of loving prayers today. Yeah. And so this last quarter, this is what I'm saying, like it's like that before the final hour, it's like hickory dickory dock. It's like hickory dickory dock, like that kind of energy. But it's like that right before the hour. It's like when we power out, when we get tired, or when we just want to quit, or when we just want to surrender, we just want to give in, and we don't want to continue to fight. It's like, I'm tired, I don't want to do this no more. And it just feels like it's like that's kind of in that time of when you can be kind of like sideswiped or trapped into or convinced to do something you didn't want to do, and we're being told the hard stuff comes after. And I do see like when I was channeling through Jesus this morning, we spoke about seeds. Jesus and I spoke about seeds and planting seeds and flowers. And it's like, if you want a beautiful garden, you have to clean the weeds out. If you got to put your hands in, you got to be willing to get dirty. You got to be willing to put the work in. And so if you want a beautiful garden, you have to take out all of that dirt. You have to take out all the weeds. You have to clean it out. You have to allow bugs in there. You have to allow you have to allow for there to be assistance, for there to be help, the ones that are useful, that help keep the soil in a healthy state for you, but also to know that you can clean out the rest, but not to fill it with chemicals out of a belief that, oh, that's going to help my garden look better. No, it is your care. It's not about putting something on it and walking away. It's not about putting a Band-Aid on. It's not about spraying a chemical on. It is not about doing something. It's about being present. It's about staying with your garden, clean it out, put in the new seeds, measure out the space, whatever it is, and have the patience to watch it grow. Have the patience to keep caring for it, not to walk away and then say, oh, I don't know why that didn't work. I don't know why that didn't happen for me. I don't know why. And it's because you didn't wait that extra time. And you got to have that patience. You got to be willing to put that in. And so that you can truly know that if you get your hands dirty and you put that work in, if you let yourself go through whatever it is, whether it's your grieving process, your healing process, getting from like point to A to B, it's like it takes time. It takes time. It is like it's like awakening one day and becoming the guru the next day. It's an impossible task. It's that whole journey through the healing process. And I always say that it's like you can go do one training class and then come out and say you're going to be the spiritual teacher and you're going to teach everybody everything that you ever just learned, but you did nothing. Only want to give everyone everything that you just learned. You have to be willing to put the work in to go full circle, to finish it up, which means to do all the healing work on you so that you're not tied and trapped into your isms, into the habits, because you should never be the same person you were when you started, because that was, it's like you're returning to finding your truth. And your truth is beyond the mask, the personas that we wear. And it means that we're going to clean up, and we have to clean up everything. And to have beautiful flowers that blossom and to have a beautiful life that's going to be blossoming and becoming, is that who you are today is enough. But who you want to see yourself be tomorrow cannot have your yesterdays running the show. It cannot have those attachments that keep you repeating the same cycles. And that becomes our whole world. And that's the energy we have to be willing to start to shift through. So whatever you're going through, whatever you have happening in your life, you have to allow that process to play out and to go through whatever you need to go through and allow it, and not to be apologizing for it, and not to be trying to rush that journey. Allow your journey, because that's what you need to do. But I can tell you, Beverly, your mom is with you. She will be with you. She will watch over you, and you will never have to worry about that. She will be there. So we have a lot of energy factors that are playing out for us in that whole world as well right now. So we have a lot that is at play here right now. We have a lot of energy, we have a lot of shifts, we have a lot of changes, and we have a lot of healing that's happening. And this full moon is going to be powerful. I will have a full moon meditation that will be posted in the school, like always. I haven't made it yet, and so that will be coming up and out here soon, that you can all do. And you can, when you use my meditations, you can do them over and over again if you like. And last card, because I do have to, purity, rebirth. And this is, this is where it's telling us that it's like that. We've already come through, we've broke through this barrier, we've broke through this energy, and now we got to let ourselves it's down to that last freaking quarter, so that we can come to wholeness, so that we can come into. And so the way that Jesus explains it to me is that, religion speaks of holy, like being holy, and we speak of oneness. We speak of like the wholeness. So seeing the whole picture. Be willing to face the good, bad, and the ugly. Be willing to know that there's all stages, not to be blindsided, not to be only focused on one side. Be willing to listen to be able to get high enough in higher self to be able to be willing to listen to someone else's perspective, somebody else's view, to be a part of it all, and to just, I've gotten a rebirth message, right? And so, yeah, and it's like, it's everywhere. I think there's a whole new life for you there, Heather. That's why you're getting that over and over. And so there's just these moments of when we come through this, there's this stage of innocence. Stop acting like we know it all and act as if we know nothing. And when you can wake up every day as if you know nothing, it gives you an opportunity to learn everything. And the problem is we got a whole world out there that's screaming about how much they think they know, or how, it's like, I know this, and and telling people how they should live their lives. I have no freaking idea how anybody should live their lives, because I'm not walking in your shoes. You're walking in your shoes. I give the tools, the wisdom that I have, that I channel, and that comes through. But no one can do that for you. So we will enter, after all of this age of innocence, like an age of the unknown, which is our opportunity to walk in grace, or to stay in like shame stories, or shaming others, or to be belittling people, or to be still trying to conquer the world. You're never going to conquer the world. They've been trying to conquer the world since the beginning of time, and they have never been able to conquer the world. And if you even got control, it's a temporary control. And the only real control is that of that energy of the God consciousness, that Big Bang fucking theory that could wipe us all out tomorrow if it so chose. And it hasn't. And so we don't live in the fear of that what could be. And so if we just let it all, if we can just return into that stage of grace, and to just trust that we are always being given signs and messages to step back, to pause, to stop, to listen. The problem is, if we don't stop screaming, and we don't stop yelling, and we don't stop doing those things, and we got to go silent. There is a silence. There will be a stage of silence that is so important, to be able to feel and embody the love and light. And the more time that you spend in that pause, in that reflection, the more that you can hear, and the more that you can see clearly the path, the direction on what life should be like in the existence of our human nature. And so we need to get back into what our number one concern should be, and that's poverty. And that's and eradicating that comes at a level of stop depleting our minds, that we are deprived, that we are without, because we all have love and light. We all have something here in this human world right now that can help us become the light that the world needs to see. And we have to start with us. And we have to bring it into us. And we have to start to know that, some of those great big projects that they're so adamant about getting out could feed a whole country. And so those thoughts that you get stuck in your head, that becomes the things that become like, that you think you're creating, you get caught in your chaos in your head. If you let those go, you wouldn't have near as much lack of, you wouldn't have near as much hate, you wouldn't have near as much anger, frustration, angst, anxiety, depression. If you could get out of all those and stop depleting your own heart, mind, and life of the love and light that is still here. And we have more than enough. More than enough. And that's the truth. That's right, Beverly. Stay. She's with you. She's definitely with you. There's no doubt. And you'll feel her. All you got to do is just sit. You'll feel her. You'll know she's there. And you may not see her full body, but it's in the whispers. It's in the little things, the feathers, the little things that fall at your feet, or the synchronicities of the locations, the places that she takes you. All those things will show you how present she really is in your life. So thank you all for being with me, for being here. Keep watching this site, Corey School of Magic, and my 2 YouTube channels, which was She Is Podcast, which I just put back to the More Than Existing, to know that there is many more beautiful things out there. I think you got to listen to the story about the flower bed garden there, Kavita, is that we just got to clean out all of the things that are in our way, which means clear out the fear story and get to the faith story, and know that when we clear out all of that fear story and we have faith of what's to come, go back and listen to that part. I think that's where some of that answer is for you. So have a beautiful weekend. I will be back tomorrow. I am around all weekend. So I'll be back in again tomorrow morning to read through this energy today. Pause, reflect. Don't jump today. It's like step back. If you feel you're getting panicked, don't feel like you have to rush into any decisions, any choices, and have a beautiful day. And let your world be as beautiful as you can in the moment that you have, because the rest is not guaranteed. Much, much love. Thank you so much. Have a beautiful weekend. Bye-bye.